Josh Emmett versus Mirsad Bektic is on the main card of UFC Fight Night 155 Sacramento on ESPN Plus 13. Headlined by de Randamie versus Aspinall, but that's not the fight we're talking about. We're talking about Mirsad Bektic versus Josh Emmett. Great fight. Okay, Josh Emmett, good fighter. Big knockout power. Big guy. Old. 34. Fights out of Team Alpha Male. Okay? The trend for Team Alpha Male members so far seem to be kind of rough. Okay, and I do think that there's some advantages to having Uriah Faber and Josh Emmett training for the same card, because they're going to be able to spar with each other and train with each other on a regular basis, making them both ready for the fight. However, Mirsad Bektic has blue hair, but that's not the point. He's a savage. He's a savage. I don't know how to reason this anymore. Mirsad Bektic, take out that weird loss to Darren Elkins. Let's be honest, he was basically tired of fucking up Darren Elkins. Okay, and Darren Elkins, while they were scrambling up against the cage, landed... Okay. While they were scrambling up against the cage, landed a weird head kick. Came out of nowhere. Mirsad Bektic didn't see it coming. He gets knocked out. Other than that, undefeated in the UFC. Other than that one loss, he'd be undefeated overall. He's a savage. He's 28 years old. He's nowhere near his prime. Well, he's like 3 years away from his prime, let's be real. He still has so much to learn. He's a dominant fighter, and I like the way he looks at 145 pounds. He's one of my dark horses for the division. And Josh Emmett, as much as he has good knockout power, I don't know if he does. I don't know if he does have good knockout power, I'll be honest with you guys. You know, I know he beat Ricardo Lamas, but Ricardo Lamas, let's face it, aging competitor. Before that, he went to a split decision with John Tuck, a decision against Scott Holtzman, lost a split decision against Desmond Green, you know, the fucking bumper car driver, what the fuck he's doing now. Felipe Arates went to a decision. Ricardo Lamas, the aging guys, he seems to be catching their chins because their chins are worn down. And I said this about Calvin Kattar. He knocks out Ricardo Lamas, can't knock out other guys the same way. You know what I'm saying? It's because when you get into the top 15, although those guys are more seasoned and more skilled, they've taken their hits, they've taken their damage, and that chin, say it's a tightened jar, and slowly but surely that chin is getting loosened by someone. You just got to pop it off. Know what I'm saying? Jeremy Stephens KO Josh Emmett, done some vicious damage to him, and then Michael Johnson fight. Josh Emmett gets the KO, but let me tell you this. What happens if Josh Emmett doesn't find that punch in the last 50 seconds? He loses. Unanimous decision every round. Okay? Michael Johnson, although a good fighter, he's not the best. You know what I'm saying? He's unranked at featherweight, if I'm correct. Unranked at featherweight. You know, although he's Michael Johnson has the weirdest fucking record, so it's hard to reason anything. He's beaten fucking Tony Ferguson, he's beaten Dustin Poirier, but he's losing to like fucking cans, in my opinion, now and again. It seems to keep happening. He beats a few guys, fights Josh Emmett. What happens if Josh Emmett doesn't find that punch in the last 40 seconds? He said in his post-fight speech, that's what we were looking for. We knew that was going to happen. No, you fucking didn't. That's some fucking Team Alpha Male retardation right there, if I've ever heard it. That was your plan, was it? To get fucked up for 3.5 rounds. 2.5 rounds. And then just wing a punch and land it. That was your plan, right? So, don't you think that maybe next fight you should have a plan that maybe involves you not getting fucked up? That was I've seen his post-fight speech. The stupidest thing I've ever heard. You just fluked and landed a big punch at the end of the fight when Michael Johnson was caught slipping. Okay? Good job, Josh Emmett. I don't rate him as a fighter. And I think if he doesn't land that big punch, like Mirsad Bektic's got a good chin, although he's been knocked out by Darren Elkins. That was he didn't even see the shot coming. He had his back to Elkins at the time as well. It was a head kick. It happens. But other than that, Mirsad Bektic, he's a savage. He's my dark horse of the division. I think he's going to get this job done by unanimous decision. I think it's going to go exactly the same as the Michael Johnson fight. But I think that Mirsad Bektic is going to be a bit more evasive, a bit more... Like, Michael Johnson was overthrowing with his shots sometimes, leaving himself exposed, which he does. Because I feel like he has this weird illusion that he has knockout power. But he doesn't. Like, he has 19 wins and 8 KOs. Like, I feel like Michael Johnson, he knocked out Dustin Poirier and was like, right, I'm Rumble Johnson. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go down to featherweight and fucking piece these guys up. But that hasn't been the case. And I feel like he throws like a guy with fucking vicious knockout power. But he doesn't really have it. And it leaves himself open for shots like he did against Josh Emmett. I feel like Mirsad Bektic's going to be a lot more seasoned. He goes in there with a game plan and he fucking sticks to it. And I think he's only getting better and better every time we see him. On a 2-fight win streak. One against Godofredo Castro, whoever the fuck that is. Then he beat Ricardo Lamas by split decision. Which kind of worries me. However, I do rate him. And I rate him very highly. And I think he's going to get the job done. Josh Emmett, Mirsad Bektic. Mirsad Bektic by unanimous decision. All 3 rounds. 2-1 on the rounds to Mirsad Bektic. I think Josh Emmett might come out kind of guns blazing in the first round. Or the third round. I know Mirsad Bektic is going to kind of rely on some wrestling, but that's going to be tough to do against Josh Emmett. People forget about Josh Emmett. Although he's new on the scene, he's an old guy and he's been doing this for a while. 34 years old. You know what I'm saying? Team Alpha Male, which means you don't learn from losses. If you're at Team Alpha Male, you don't change a thing after a loss. I bet against Jeremy Stephens, they were like, oh, it wasn't for that illegal knee that scraped my head, I would have Imanari rolled to a heel hook and submitted him. Just not my night tonight. Oh, God. Team Alpha Male. It's just the same thing over and over again. I feel like Mirsad Bektic is going to get the job done. It's going to be a sour night for Team Alpha Male. Because Ryan Hall, I'm not going to spoil anything. That's another video to come. Tomorrow. So, yeah. See you later. Goodbye. Mirsad Bektic. All 3 rounds. He's a savage. Click that as well.